Welcome to part 2 of the Westin Homes CRM tutorial. My name is Wesley and I will be leading you through this tutorial. The purpose of part 2 of this tutorial is to introduce you to the Brix system and go over the steps you need to perform from inside the CRM when a customer is ready to sign a purchase agreement. We'll also cover how to create and print that purchase agreement through our contract system. At the conclusion of this tutorial, you will be fully equipped to complete the Westin Homes sales process, from your first hello with a customer to that customer's signature on our purchase agreement. Well, I'm excited, and I know you are too, so let's get started. Now let's cover what to do when a customer is ready to purchase a Westin home. First, open a new Chrome browser window and select the CRM bookmark from your favorites bar that we added in part 1 of the tutorial. If the login page appears, enter your login credentials. From your dashboard, select Customers at the top center of your screen to bring up your customer list. We're going to find and open the customer card we entered in part 1 of the tutorial for Sales Manager by performing the name search function. Now, before a purchase agreement can be created in Brix, the customer stage in the CRM must be changed to Buyer. This triggers the contract system to import the customer's information. Next, open a new Chrome browser tab. In the address bar, type Brix Wes, that's BRIXWES, solutions.com/Brix apps, that's BRIXAPPS/sales.ASPX and press enter. This will bring you to the Brix login page. Before we log in, let's add this page to our favorites bar. You'll do this by selecting the star icon on the far right of the address bar and selecting Add Bookmark from the drop-down menu. Make sure the Bookmarks bar is the selected folder and select Done. If the bookmark does not appear automatically at the top of the page, you will need to reorder your bookmarks by selecting the double right-facing arrow icon. Then click and drag the Brix bookmark where you want it. Your sales director should have provided you with login credentials for Brix. These will be different than the CRM credentials, but will also have a default password that will need to be changed once we log in. So go ahead and enter those credentials now. This brings you to your Brix start page. This page will display any customer from the CRM with a stage other than lead. Before we move on, let's change your default password. To do this, select the sales icon at the upper left of your screen. From the drop-down menu, select Manage Login. Here, you'll enter your current password, then your new password, verify your new password, and select OK. Now we need to return to the customer list. You can return to your customer list a couple different ways. One way is to select Sales at the upper left of your screen. From the drop-down menu, you would select Customers, but don't select it yet. The other way, and the one you're most likely to use, is the navigation shortcut menu shown in dark gray at the right side of your screen. Next to the word customer, select the list icon to take you back to the customer list. By default, the customer list is sorted alphabetically by last name. To change how your list is sorted, you can select any one of the column headers, selecting it once for ascending and twice for descending. You can also search for customers in each of the columns. To perform a search, select the white area below the column header to the right of the magnifying glass. Start entering your search, and the list will update as you type. Now let's find the customer we entered in part 1 of the tutorial, Sales Manager, and create a purchase agreement. Select the customer's last name to open the customer's information page. The customer's name will import, but make sure the name is entered as it appears on their pre-approval letter. Cross-check this with their ID to confirm. Next, enter the customer's current address. After the address is entered, verify that the email address and phone number for the customer are correct. You will leave the remaining input fields blank and select Save. If there's a co-buyer, as indicated by the pre-approval letter, you will enter their information next. Now please note, this is for co-buyers only. Joinders and/or spouses will be added later. Select Add New Profile. Now, enter the co-buyer's name as it appears on the pre-approval letter, making sure to cross-check this with their ID for confirmation. This is the only information that needs to be added for a co-buyer. Leave the remaining input fields blank and select Save. Please note, in the rare occasion that there are more than 2 buyers, as indicated on the pre-approval letter, you will add a new profile for each additional co-buyer. Now that we have the customer profile information entered, select the Contracts tab. To create a new purchase agreement, select New. This will bring up your community's job bank. Here's where all of your community's available homes and lots will appear, and you will select the address of the home or lot the customer is purchasing. You'll notice that despite the community interest selection we made when we entered the customer into the CRM, homes and lots in all sections that have been released are available for you to choose from. Lots available for dirt builds will be blank in the Plans section, and the status column will show lot. For specs under construction, the plan will be assigned, and the status will say spec. For specs on deck, the plan will be assigned, but the status will indicate lot. Just like the customer list, you can sort or search within each of the various columns. In this example, we'll be selecting an inventory home located at 26526 Polaris Rise Lane. The quickest way to find this home will be to do a search in the address number column. Select the white box below the address number header and begin entering the address. Once the correct address is shown, select the job number to create the purchase agreement. Now the contract proposal screen will appear. A contract that is not yet accepted by corporate is referred to as a proposal. On this screen, verify the names you entered earlier are correct. Please note, the Name on Contract field will only import up to 2 buyers' names. If there are more than 2 buyers, the additional co-buyers' names must be manually added here. To do this, click on the Name on Contract box. Add a comma and a space after the second buyer's name. Then add the next buyer's name as it appears on the pre-approval letter, cross-checked with their ID to confirm. That was for example only, so we're going to back this out. Once you've verified the buyer's names are correct, select Create Contract. This adds a contract proposal to the Brix system. Next, we're going to select the newly added contract proposal to open the contract details page. Here you will enter the details of the contract. You start off in the General tab. In this tab, the only information you need to add is at the very bottom, the sales source. From the drop-down menu, select the appropriate source of the customer and select Save. The next tab is Plan. For an inventory home, you are only verifying that the plan and elevation are correct. If the plan and elevation are incorrect, contact your sales director before proceeding. If the information is correct, you'll proceed to the Pricing tab. The Pricing tab is where you will verify that the base price and lot premium are correct. It is also where you will enter the sales incentive that will appear on page 11 of the purchase agreement. If the base price or lot premium is incorrect, contact your sales director before proceeding. If the base price and lot premium are correct, enter the incentive amount in the sales discretionary box. For inventory homes, the incentive amount is the difference between the full transaction summary price and the final sales price. The incentive amount must be entered as a negative number. This is very important. So here you will enter a negative sign, followed by the incentive, and select Save. Next is the Miscellaneous tab. In this tab, you will enter the earnest money amount, realtor information, spouse or joinder information, and a closing date for inventory homes that are stage 12 or higher. If the customer does not have a realtor, for the realtor name, enter None in all caps. If you are entering a spouse or joinder, make sure to enter their name exactly as it appears on their ID, first, middle, and last name. For multiple joinders, separate each name with a comma and a space. For the closing date, make sure you enter a date that conforms to your community's guidelines. Finally, we have the Documents tab. This is where the actual documents are created and stored. To create a purchase agreement, select the top checkbox. This will automatically select all of the contract documents. Next, select Create Documents. Only click this button once. It may take a few seconds for the Documents page to appear. Selecting it multiple times will cause the system to create separate document packages for each time the Create Documents button is selected, which can become confusing. When the document package page appears, you can print individual documents of the purchase agreement by selecting Print next to the corresponding document. Or you can select Print All at the top. Because this is a new purchase agreement, we're going to select the option of Print All. If the print screen does not automatically appear, you will need to disable the pop-up blocker for the Brix website. To do this, go to the far right side of the address bar. Next to the favorite star, you will see a gray box with a red X indicating that a pop-up was blocked. Click the symbol and select Always Allow Pop-ups and Redirects from this site. Then select Done. Select the Print All button again, and the print screen should now appear. Here's where you will select your printer if you're printing a hard copy for wet ink signatures, or select Save as PDF if you will be uploading the purchase agreement to DocuSign for digital signatures. When saving a PDF, make sure to name the contract appropriately. Now let's go back and create a dirt contract. In the navigation shortcuts to the right of your screen, next to Customer, you have two options. You can select the list icon to go back to the full customer list, or you can select the last customer profile you viewed. Let's select Sales Manager to go back into that profile. All the information that is needed for a purchase agreement we entered earlier, so we will select the Contracts tab and select New for a new purchase agreement. This will bring up your job bank. Remember, lots available for dirt builds will not have a plan or elevation assigned and will have a status of lot. For this example, we're going to select the first available lot. Select the job number to create the purchase agreement. On the next screen, verify that the names you entered earlier are correct. Then select Create Contract. This adds a contract proposal to the Brix system. Now, select the newly added contract proposal to open the contract details page. Here you will enter the details of the contract. In the General tab, the only information you need to add is at the bottom, the sales source. From the drop-down menu, select the appropriate sales source of the customer and select Save. The next tab is Plan. For new builds, a list of available plans will appear. Select the appropriate plan and elevation with the corresponding garage swing. For example, there will be two elevation A's to select from, one with the right swing garage and one with the left, as viewed from the street. Select the appropriate one and press Save. Now proceed to the Pricing tab. The Pricing tab is where you will verify that the base price and lot premium are correct. It is also where you will enter the sales incentive that will appear on page 11 of the purchase agreement. If the base price or the lot premium are incorrect, contact your sales director before proceeding. If the base price and lot premium are correct, enter the incentive amount in the sales discretionary box. Remember, the incentive amount must be entered as a negative number. You will enter a minus sign, the incentive, and select Save. Next is the Miscellaneous tab. In this tab, you will enter the earnest money amount, realtor information, and spouse or joinder information. If the customer does not have a realtor, for realtor name, enter None in all caps. If you are entering a spouse or joinder, make sure to enter their name exactly as it appears on their ID, first, middle, and last name. For multiple joinders, separate each name with a comma and a space. Once all the information is entered, select Save and proceed to the Documents tab. To create the purchase agreement, select the top checkbox. This will automatically select all the purchase agreement documents. Next, you'll select Create Documents. Only click this button once. It may take a few seconds for the document package page to appear. Selecting it multiple times will cause the system to create separate document packages for each time the Create Documents button is selected, which will become confusing. When the Documents package page appears, you can print individual documents of the purchase agreement by selecting Print next to the corresponding document, or you can select Print All at the top. Because this is a new contract, we're going to select Print All. When the print screen appears, you will select the printer if printing a hard copy for wet ink signatures, or select Save as PDF if you will be uploading the purchase agreement to DocuSign for digital signatures. Remember, when saving as PDF, make sure to name your document appropriately. This completes part 2 of our tutorial. If you have any questions about anything we covered in this tutorial, you can reach out to me directly at 832-475-4013 or by email at wflanagan@westin-homes.com. You may also reach out to your respective sales directors.